Now, live from East Tennessee's first television station, this is 6 News at 6.
It has been a busy day at the polls, and we're not finished yet. You're looking at a live picture as Knox County voters are still casting their ballots right now. Find out if voters have been discouraged by any long lines.
6 News has crews across Tennessee and around the country. Tonight, we're bringing you live team coverage of the races at the local, state, and national levels.
Plus, we'll be visiting with the candidates and campaigns as they rally voters and get ready for a night of celebration or disappointment.
America needs strong, principled, and visionary leadership. Someone who...
And for this crowd of some 1,500, and for a growing number of Republicans across Tennessee, that leader appears to be Rick Santorum. He's been surging in the polls in recent weeks despite opposition from many establishment Republicans, including Governor Haslam, who's endorsed and is campaigning for Mitt Romney. We asked Santorum how he's been able to succeed.
Every endorsement there is, it seems like, is going for Mitt Romney. This is the establishment. That's just what happens. And you know what? We're the insurgent candidate here. We're the ones going out here and scrapping and clawing. And you know what? We're doing all right.
From WATE 6 News, Tennessee This Week with Gene Patterson.
Today we've invited representatives from the 3 campaigns here locally, and representing Mitt Romney is Regional Campaign Chair Joe Bailey. From Rick Santorum's campaign, State Representative Bill Dunn, and State Senator Stacey Canfield, who is campaign co-chair for Newt Gingrich.
Newt is a great guy. I mean, you talk about somebody who's actually done it. The man's balanced the budget 4 straight years. He's cut unemployment to about half the rate that it is now, and he's done a lot of wonderful things for our country. Unfortunately, I've seen how electoral politics work, and divided primaries never seem to work out too good for conservative candidates when there's a spread field. Therefore, at this time, I'm stepping down as co-chair of Newt Gingrich and supporting and asking everyone else to throw their support behind Rick Santorum.
My goodness. Is Newt Gingrich aware of your decision?
He will be shortly.
Mitt Romney is here in Knoxville today, hoping to pick up some local votes ahead of Election Day. 6 News anchor Gene Patterson joins us live from the Romney rally in West Knoxville. Gene?
Jill, thank you very much. Right now, the former governor of Massachusetts is right over there in the crowd. He spoke here for about 25 minutes to a very enthusiastic crowd of supporters. We estimate somewhere around 1,000 people here at West Hills Elementary. Now, we were told by the governor that they only booked this hall Friday, so this thing was put together rather quickly. We're going to have all that coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, and he says a couple of things that may interest you, particularly about Governor Haslam.
In tonight's top story, 6 News anchor Gene Patterson sits down one-on-one with Romney to talk about his comeback here in the volunteer state.
Ask the former Massachusetts governor how he's been able to close the gap.
I think it's because people know that to beat Barack Obama, we have to have a candidate for whom the economy is the central issue. And the economy and jobs and getting people back to work with good jobs and rising incomes, that's what I know. And I think that's why I'm seeing the kind of support and the surge I've seen over the last few days.
The nomination race changing almost by the day. We have seen more and more attention paid to Tennessee voters. Well, Rick Santorum chose Chattanooga for a visit a little more than a week ago. Then Newt Gingrich came to Nashville, and Santorum brought his campaign to Powell just last week. And over the weekend, Mitt Romney made a stop at West Hills Elementary. Of course, 6 News anchor Gene Patterson has been at all of those events, and tonight he is at the Hilton Hotel at McGee Tyson Airport, where Newt Gingrich made a bid for votes with just hours to go before Super Tuesday. Gene?
Well, you're exactly right, Kristen. You know, we just left the speaker. He is still somewhere in the area, about to head down to Chattanooga, where he's going to be hooking up with Herman Cain for a big event and rally down there in Chattanooga. And you're exactly right. This has been a crazy time, and the reason that we're seeing all these presidential candidates is for the first time in a long time, Tennessee is in play. I mean, the deal is not done yet among the nominees. New at 11, Gingrich sits down with 6 News and talks about everything from energy policy to Canfield. Today's good news comes despite a tumultuous week for Gingrich's Tennessee campaign, which saw his state co-chair, Stacey Canfield, announce on Tennessee This Week that he was stepping down and supporting Rick Santorum. In an interview with 6 News, we asked Gingrich about Canfield's defection.
I mean, candidly, I don't know what he was doing or why he did it, but there was an argument between him and our regional field coordinator, and I think he just either got his feelings hurt or got angry or something.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Farley.
I'm Lori Tucker with this special Super Tuesday election update.
The polls here in Tennessee closed at 8 o'clock, and we want to bring you some of the most up-to-date results coming into the 6 newsroom and some big news concerning the GOP race.
Very big news. 2 words, Rick Santorum. In Tennessee's race for Republican candidate for president, ABC is calling the race for Santorum. Let's take a look at those results. Mitt Romney, who some have projected to win Tennessee, coming in right now with 28%. Santorum well ahead with 45% of the vote.
And the other 2 candidates, Ron Paul with just 7% and Newt Gingrich getting just 18% despite his visit to our area just last night.
6 News reporter Jill McNeil live in North Knoxville with Santorum supporters on the big win. Jill.
That's right. Still quite a big crowd here waiting for the final results to come in for Ohio. There were even more volunteers here earlier this evening watching and cheering as the votes rolled in for Rick Santorum here in the Volunteer State.
With your voice of your vote coverage, 6 News reporter Mike Kravsick put these ads to the truth test.
Mayfield's campaign tries to align the incumbent, Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, with President Obama's agenda in his latest ad.
But our congressman voted 1 out of 4 times with Obama, the highest of any Tennessee Republican in the House.
The claim is taken from a congressional quarterly study that examined 95 House votes that President Obama took a clear position on in 2011. Fleischmann sided with the president 24% of the time, close to 1 in 4. Technically, the claim is true, but key Republicans like Paul Ryan and House Majority Leader Eric Cantor voted with Obama 26% of the time, a higher percentage than Fleischmann. So while this claim is true, it needs to be put into context.
Vice President Joe Biden and Republican VP nominee Paul Ryan are meeting in the town of Danville for the nationally televised event.
We've seen a big swing in the polls toward Mitt Romney after last week's first presidential debate, so there's extra attention on tonight's performances. 6 News anchor Gene Patterson joins us live from Danville, Kentucky with tonight's top story. Gene.
Well, thank you very much, Lauren. You're exactly right. There is a lot of pressure on both these candidates tonight because of what happened in that first presidential debate, and we are expecting a lot of fireworks by both camps in the next few hours when they go face-to-face just down the street here, about 200 or 300 yards or so, at the Norton Center here on campus.
Knoxville getting a rare glimpse of the presidential race as Republican VP hopeful Paul Ryan swings through town.
But today's visit wasn't for the masses. Instead, the focus today was rallying top local Republicans while adding to the Romney campaign war chest. The Wisconsin congressman took no questions from local media, saying only sorry. His mission was not to talk to reporters, but to supporters, and especially those with deep pockets willing to shell out $1,000 for lunch and an opportunity to hear from the person they hope is the next vice president.
Well, 6 News obtained the 679-page transcript from Desjardins' divorce proceedings. The documents are eye-opening. A doctor admits he had sexual relationships with at least 2 patients, 3 coworkers, and a drug rep. This is all before his divorce was finalized.
We're going to go to 6 News reporter Alexis Zotos. She's in Chicago covering the Obama-Biden ticket.
Well, this is it. This is where thousands of President Obama's supporters will join together tonight to watch the election results roll in. Tonight's rally was invitation only, but thousands of those tickets were given to the hardworking volunteers of this campaign. My colleague Christine's in Boston. Christine, what's it like over at the Romney-Ryan rally? Thanks, Alexis. Well, it is a countdown to election night. Right now, I am standing in the ballroom, and though it looks pretty empty right now, starting at about 7 o'clock, once the polls start to close, this room is going to be hopping.
Ballots roll in from across East Tennessee. It's your voice, your vote.
We have live team coverage of all the major races for you. 6 News at 11 starts right now.
Let's go ahead and take a look here at the Electoral College map. We have just learned that Oregon has now been declared for President Barack Obama. Also within the last 15 minutes, probably one of the biggest announcements to come in is that North Carolina, one of those swing states that we've been watching right there, went to the Romney camp. Now, as you
joining me now is one woman who has been here since the doors opened, Rhoda Burgess. So tell me a little bit, why did you want to come out here in the first place?
Well, we supported Barack Obama and his crew in 2008, and my daughter convinced me, I'm here with my family, to come out, and we're having a great time. And the vibe is even better this year than it was 4 years ago.